Wait, who called who elder?
Look at the video.
Oh, pff. Okay.
Yeah.
They're trying to desperately lie to you about female gamers. Oh, okay. Please tell me about me. Please.
Please,
Please.
mansplain right now.
Please mansplain me to me. Please.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we have ourselves yet another article. It's a very typical article discussing how women are the dominant force in gaming, or at least slowly becoming the dominant force.
We're not. Women are not the dominant force in gaming. If you're offended by it, what's your KDA? You don't know what KDA is? You play Stardew Valley? My point exactly. I want problems. Always.
In gaming, and how the age of the average gamer has now gone up to around 41 years old. But the thing is, every time one of these articles prop up, it always ends up resulting in the same discussion. People look at the information provided and they obviously see that it's heavily skewed. They see that mobile is destroying the overall numbers and making it very skewed to basically say that women are rising in the gaming industry, at least from the player perspective and the customer perspective. Now, that is not to say there aren't a bunch of women that do play video games. Obviously, we know that, especially now more than ever, there are
yeah, but like, then you have to define what actually constitutes a game, right? You have to define what is the actual definition of a game. Do we qualify Candy Crush on your phone as a game? I personally don't think it counts as a game. Do we quantify games like Stardew Valley as a game? I think it's a game. Do we quantify Dance Dance Revolution as a game? Again, I don't think it's a game.
Huh?
Dance Dance Revolution is not a game.
It's a game. It's a rhythm game.
It's a way of life. Boom, got him.
plenty of women that play video games. I remember growing up where girls will make fun of you if you play video games or even like anime or manga. But here we are, where your average Twitch dot now for $5.99 a month is trying to convince you she's a gamer. So now we live in
$5.99 a month. Wait, what? Where is he getting prices from? I only charge $4.99. No, I don't even charge $4.99. I charge $4.90. Here I was undercharging $1.09.
Damn.
You owe me back pay. Yeah, no. Just because there's more women on Twitch streaming games doesn't mean the average woman plays more games. It just, for a woman, it's way more easier and lucrative to get money off of playing games online.
a world where gamers are pretty much everybody, everybody and everything. That's always been that way, but it's more prominent now than ever. With the rise of gaming becoming the #1 entertainment medium in the world, that is naturally going to happen. Now, this article here says these days, the typical gamer is an elder millennial. Sigh, I am old. The global survey from Entertainment Software Association finds that gaming is split fairly evenly between men and women, and most of it happens.
Okay, so basically they did a survey with a very narrow, specific audience.
Yep.
That's how these article surveys usually go.
On phones. So one of this is true, one of this is not true. What is true is that most of it does happen on phones. What is not true is that gaming is not split evenly between men and women. We know that because of,
like I said, it all comes down and boils down to what do you quantify as an actual game. If you're playing My Darling Makeover on the phone, that's not a game. If you're playing Candy Crush on your phone, that's not a game. If you play Monopoly Go on your phone, get friends.
mobile gaming, the majority of female gamers are in fact on mobile gaming, right? Because they count things like Candy Crush, or they count, all these mobile games as games. But we know that when it comes to the AAA industry, console gaming, PC gaming, we know that the majority of it is dominated by men. This is something that we have seen time and time again, through and through, many different times. If you look at your average gamer playing games like Battlefield and Call of Duty, you are going to be hard pressed to find a bunch of women out there playing these video games. They do exist, obviously. We just played with I didn't get a chance to play with Sevi yet, but I saw Sevi
Inspired is saying, I think we should be specific between games and games. Yeah. What would you call games? quote unquote games like Candy Crush.
Game.
I don't think it's a game. We need like a proper name for things like that.
Super casual.
No, but then there's casual games, like actual casual games. You see?
Time sync? I don't know.
Brain rot? Clickers.
No. Don't disrespect clickers like that.
What would you call some that category? Oh my god. This is my moment to shine. What do you call them? Fidget toys? Mobile? No. Inspired? There are some good mobile games, esports level mobile games. So you cannot just call them mobile games. We should call them smartphone apps. Yeah, I just want to call them brain rot apps. I think that's appropriate.
Be playing with Do Blackstreet earlier, right? We do have female gamers that do play. However, it is not the numbers that they're trying to portray. If it truly was 50-50, if it truly was something where women are at equal.
Also, I do want to underline, just because you know one or three chicks who play like 5 to 6 hours a day, it doesn't mean that constitute the average for all the women in the world. If anything, a girl playing around 8 hours a day, that's an anomaly. It's not the normality. And if you want to tell me, oh, go check Twitch, there's like hundreds of women playing games for 8 hours a day. Yeah, that would be 0.00001% of population of women. Which again, go back to number one where I said that's an abnormality.
Equal numbers to men in these kind of games that most people talk about, you would be seeing a lot more of them. Okay, you would absolutely be seeing them all over the place, like it's crazy. But you don't see that, right? You just don't. So anyway, scrolling down, gaming still carries a young guy stereotype, but new data shows today's average gamer is closer to middle age.
Oh, okay. Well, with that, it depends on which game you play, right? You play Fortnite, the audience is gonna be younger. If you play Valorant, the audience is gonna be like early 20s, right? Like the thirsty e-daters. If you play Marvel Rivals, they're usually like washed up Overwatch players, so they would be like late 20s, early 30s. What a mix of e-daters these days. Like Marvel Rivals would be a mixed bag. If you go Counter-Strike, it would be like majority older players. If you go single player games, good luck finding out what's the average player age there. It all depends on the game and the genre to be able to decide. Like you cannot say that, oh, it's mainly 30-year-olds playing games, or oh, it's only like this demographic playing games. You actually can't do that. Roblox between 12 and 15, then 30 and 40. I would say like more like 40 and 50. 12, 15, and then 40 and 50.
Entertainment Software Association, a major lobbying group for the gaming industry, has published the results from one of its largest consumer surveys, which found the average age of gamer is 41 years old. Now, the reason why the age is going up and up is I remember when the age was in the mid 30s. I remember when they said the average age of gamers was 35. Now, apparently, the average age of gamers is 41. And the reason why is because we grew up on games, right? For the people who grew up on stuff like Atari, when gaming was in its infancy, you realize that hopefully, God willing, if everything.
Yo, he's old. Did he just confirm he's in his 40s? Yo, my man's old. I'm just send him like a walker and a hearing aid in his PO box.
Things good for you, you're still going to be alive and you're probably older. And now, as those people continue to get older, the average age is going to go up, and younger people are playing video games more and more. So clearly, the numbers are going to get higher and higher. And as people get older and older, the average age is going to continue to go up when the number is such a big number like it is now. It's only a matter of time, right? So it's going to get to a point where 41 is going to turn to an average of 50. I got to imagine that the number is probably going to stagnate somewhere around 50 if I had to guess, but I wouldn't be surprised if it got even higher than that, 10 to 20 years from now. But the survey is somewhat skewed since it only polled gamers around 16 years and older. Nevertheless, the study is quite expansive, surveying 24,216 players across 26 countries.
That's nothing. 24.2K players across 26 countries in North America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. That is nothing. You might as well just go onto a busy street and ask people what's their favorite color and just conclude based on that what's the global favorite color. These numbers are nothing.
in North America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. The respondents also identify themselves as active gamers who play video games for at least 1 hour per week. What?
Get out. 1 hour
Yo.
per week. You're not an active gamer. You're a geriatric gamer. I'm sorry. 1 hour a week is nothing. Take dumps longer than that. Again, I'm sorry. What is wrong with me? Why am I so violent today? No, but like quite seriously, an hour a week is nothing. 1 hour a week, you're nothing. Like no offense, but you're not a gamer. In like the landscape of gaming, you're nothing. Again, I'm sorry, but like it is what it is.
Yeah, you don't exist.
At least not to me. I want problems. Always.
Hold on. 1 hour per week as an active gamer? Okay, bro. Okay. I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna try. Listen, man, we have we have these conversations, and it brings me back to the old days of World of Warcraft when we used to argue between casuals and hardcore. And sometimes I have to control myself and not sound like such a fucking elitist prick. But come on, bro.
I mean, sometimes it's okay to sound like an elitist prick when someone is trying to push their own narration of reality into your sphere and hobby. I think sometimes it's okay.
Yeah.
There's no way you're trying to convince me that an hour a week is an active gamer. Like, you're not an active gamer at an hour per week. If you told me like an hour a day, okay, maybe I'd call you a casual. But still, like an hour per week, come on, bro. Like the Smash JT plays more than that, and that's saying a lot. All right, I'm trying not to be.
I do like the friendly fire here. I do really like the friendly fire here. Smash JT better pick up whatever his old hands can hold and play some more games. God damn.
Elitist here. I'm trying not to be like, but you got to be kidding me at 1 hour a week. Anyway, let's look through the numbers. Let's look to the numbers regardless. I'm sorry. I got a little bit taken aback by the 1 hour a week thing. That blew my mind. Anyway, so the respondents identify themselves as active gamers who played 1 hour a week. Now let's look at this. Let's look at this breakdown. Okay. 41 is the average age of players 16 plus. Okay. Nearly equal gender split at 48% women and 51% men.
Sure.
Where this is obviously where people are like, well, that's bullshit. And then if you look at the reason why, well, look at the right. You're going to see a breakdown of
Mobile. Over half mobile.
Yep.
Sure. Let's go with the imaginary land of La La Land. Okay.
of what they played on, right? Mobile takes up the majority, massive majority, right? Computer or laptop is equal to game console or handheld. If you look at console or handheld, this is the orange.
Fuck is other?
What the fuck is other?
What? They're playing Candy Crush on their fridge?
Yeah.
Fuck is other?
If you look at PC gaming, it's the light green, right? So they are almost identical in terms of numbers, right? You can
Samsung fridge? Or, at least I know we idiots think alike, you know? Even my mom plays more than an hour of games a week. Yeah, like Netflix has games. Yeah, but you can pull up Netflix on your fridge. Stores? I seen it.
You've seen it? Yeah, source,
Yes.
right? Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. Is mobile counting gacha games? I think gacha games are games. They're Gunner games, but they're games.
Games are games.
Yeah. Plus, I'm sorry, if you're playing your gacha games on a phone, what are you doing with your life? At least get a tablet. That way you can see the jiggle better. Like, come on. Why do I have to point that out? It's obvious. Maybe other is retro games. What? No. I don't like the narration, so I say no. It's a fridge. Those screen games in restaurant, they have those?
clearly see where mobile is bigger than both of those combined, which everybody knows that. And then you have VR devices, which I got to be real with you. I highly doubt they're playing video games on VR. They're probably gooning on VR. Let's just be real. But anyway.
Yeah, that they're like in the VR instances. We watched plenty of proximity chat. We know what's going on in VR.
Yeah, you guys can't hide from us.
You're not fooling anyone here.
VR headset and device, and then other hardware. I don't know what other hardware would be classified as. personally, but I mean that's there. Probably one of those. So other hardware will probably be classified as consoles that aren't official. Like those little handheld consoles they sell on Amazon for like I don't know $100. It has like 5,000 emulated games on it. I don't know if they count that as like other hardware, probably, but whatever. I guess we'll see. The survey.
It's obvious. It's the fridge. It's the shoes. I think like smart shoes.
Okay.
Wait, you know those houses that have like smart houses with the screens and stuff? Do you think you can play chess with against your house? And if the house loses, it just locks you in? Like, aha, bitch, you're too stupid.
Maybe.
That would be pretty dope. Like, you have to play with your house for your life.
Yeah, if you lose, you get locked in, you lose a day of work.
Oh, I want a smart house now. Like, replicate my own version of Squid Games with the help of like a smart house. Player one, me.
Survey also suggests that the average gamer in the U.S. is older. 56% of the respondents in the U.S. classified themselves as 45 years old or older. China is the country with the lowest average player age at 32 years old. Italy has the highest at age 50.
Huh?
An update. A spokesperson for the ESA also told PC Magazine that for the U.S., the survey found the average age of the player to be 49 years old. That said, so we're already at almost 50 years old for the average age of the supposed game.
I don't believe it. But that's a reality. I really don't believe it. Because again, the demographic of people who play games on mobile, and you already saw like how many mobile like players took up in the pie chart. The demographic is my mom. My mom is like in her like what year is it? My mom is 57. She's the demographic to play those Candy Crush games. And goddamn, by golly, she will play. But even she will play like an hour a day. Yeah, she hops through games pretty fast. Again, we're coming back to the same thing. Do we actually constitute those games as actual games? I don't think so. Like, there's no point of time in my life where I'm gonna call my mom a gamer. If I call my mom a gamer, she will probably hit me. If you're a VTuber, if you have a smart house, it will be hacked by one of your haters and immerse it into my Squid Game house, right?
Gamer in the United States of America. That's very interesting. That said, another survey released in June that looked at players as young as 5 years old found that the average age of the gamer in the U.S. to be 36. Well, yeah, because you're including fucking 5-year-olds. Why are you including 5-year-olds? Well, stop it. It's not all that surprising, though. Video games boomed in the 1980s and 90s when kids had consoles from Nintendo, Sega, and Sony. Those players have since grown up and transitioned to modern devices like the PS5 and Switch 2. At the same time, gaming has become more accessible.
My mom was a gamer. She played PS2 games a lot. Yeah, but that's the exclusion, Mike? That's awesome, but that's the abnormality, not the norm.
With free mobile apps making it easy for anyone to play. And I agree with that. I agree with that. That's literally what I said at the beginning of the video. Also, free-to-play games, they do have a point. Free-to-play games has made it where the entry to even be classified as a gamer is so easy now. You don't even have to spend money to be considered a gamer now.
Okay, I don't think you have to. I don't think it. How can I say it without sounding like an absolute jackass jerk? You don't need to spend money to be a gamer, but you need to play games to be a gamer. Not the color matchy jewels, not the color matchy candy, not the my dream makeover on your phone. Actual games. And yes, casual games are games too. But if your gameplay is literally you just color matching and doing makeup in a game is not a game, okay? You clicking around 5 minutes before sleeping or 5 minutes while you're pooping doesn't make you a gamer. It makes you a pooper. That's it. You might as well just take a rock, throw it in the river, and call yourself like the best baseball player in the world. It's same level of stupidity. Or like go into grocery store and just start tackling old ladies and call yourself the best American football player.
You can boot up a free-to-play video game, and that would allow you to classify yourself as a gamer, especially if the threshold to be a gamer is 1 hour a week, okay? Like, what the fuck is that, bro? 1 hour a week? You got to be kidding me. So it makes it very easy to be able to classify yourself as a gamer. Now, when we look at the breakdown here, you're going to see the United States breakdown, and it says, people help me feel less stressed, 75% on the US, 77% global. Helps me feel happier, 68% US, 70% global. Provide a healthy outlet for everyday challenges, 69% US, 72% global. Help me feel less anxious, 67% US, 70% global. Help me feel less isolated, 58% US, 64% global. And help me get through difficult times, 61% US,
And
62%
that's
global.
fine.
Play online with others at least monthly, 63% of players did. Play in person.
Well, would it be fair then to call those quote unquote games like anxiety relief apps rather than games? I think that would be fair then.
Person with others at least monthly, 52% of the players did. And use in-game communications, 44% of the players did. Right, 47% of the parents in the United States said playing video games has positively impacted their relationship with their children.
I
Now,
believe it.
I
Yeah.
find that to be so interesting, considering that the government has been trying to convince people for decades that video games cause violence, right?
Okay, but you cannot really compare that to that because of also the kind of pool they have surveyed. They surveyed a specific kind of demographic and a specific kind of circles for this statistic, which automatically discredits it. You cannot really take these numbers seriously. Around 2K globally surveying people is nothing.
So you have almost 50% of parents saying that video games has impacted their relationship with their kids in a positive way. Meanwhile, the government is trying to convince you that video games cause violence. I find that to be very interesting.
What I find funny is if you guys remember last year, the biggest turnoff in dating for women was playing games. But 47% of people are saying that, oh, I play games with my kids. Explains why those women who think playing games is a red flag, why they are single.
Yep.
Then it says video games improve skills. We already talked about that. Problem solving, critical thinking, cognitive skills. This is something that we talk about all the time. Also influence my career or educational path in a positive way. United States says 38% and global is 43%. So another interesting find is how gaming is split fairly evenly between men and women, with 51% of the survey
Wow.
respondents identifying themselves as male and 48% as female. Where are the non-binary choices? How come we don't have non-binary choices? How come we don't have frog or frog self choices?
Oh, that's simple. The survey is
It had nothing to do with the survey, but okay, pop off.
the survey is and fascist. Come on. Why else wouldn't they include it, right? By the way, for people who think I'm serious, get bent.
Get bent.
It's
idiots.
a joke.
Where is the inclusivity in this survey? How is this supposed to be accurate unless the they thems are involved? Where are they? I don't understand. Where did it go? Anyway, there are several countries where significantly more women play video games than men, including Brazil. Apparently in Brazil, there's almost 60% of women playing versus 43%. And in South Africa, there's almost 60% compared to 40%. Wow. So in South Africa and Brazil, there are way more women playing video games than men, according to this survey. The survey goes on to highlight how gaming has become a popular form of entertainment, whether for fun, relaxation, or to keep the brain sharp. However, it appears.
But that's how games in general are functioning. The games are supposed to be for fun, relaxation, and to keep your brain sharp. It's just like specific people right now are pushing that. No, we have to brainwash people with real world issues and real world politics. So even if you go by this quote unquote survey, people need games to relax and not stress.
That a majority of gaming is taking place on smartphones, with 55% of respondents saying they preferred to game on mobile, while 21% picked on PC and another 21% picked console. So for all the console boys, they love to tell me that the Steam numbers don't matter, okay? Because this is the biggest fucking bro, this is the biggest cope I have seen.
Yeah, this is just stupid.
In God knows how long. We see it all the time. The biggest cope is Steam numbers don't matter and that console gaming far outweighs PC gaming. That is no longer the case. It hasn't been the case for the longest time. Every single survey, every single numbers-based survey that we see always proves that the numbers are neck and neck between PC and console. And it's only a matter of time before.
Scum. Nobody breaks the law on my watch.
All games are real games.
No, I decide what a real game is. How dare you?
For PC overtakes console. I'm sorry. Like, that's just what it is. So can we stop saying the Steam numbers don't matter? That's the biggest fucking cope I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, so apparently this was written by Michael Kahn, who is an expert about our expert. Yeah, okay, I'm sure he's an expert. So one thing I noticed about this survey, and I'm sure you guys notice about this survey too. What don't you see about this survey? Because you see everything, right? You see their devices. You see whether or not it makes them happy or not. You see the age of the players. You see all this shit except one very important factor.
Yeah.
Where is the gender breakdown between the actual games that are being played?
Because that's irrelevant. Otherwise, they cannot push their own agenda through it, obviously. But like, I already said my piece. Like, this survey is not a survey. It's a pamphlet with like asking people from your friends group for an opinion.
Right? Why is there no gender breakdown between who's playing on mobile and who's not? Why is there no gender breakdown between who's playing on console and who's not? Why is there no gender breakdown between who's playing on PC and who's not? It's because they know that if they provide that information, then everybody.
Yeah, this survey is nonsensical. Like, this survey is not a thing. It doesn't exist. I will pretend like it doesn't exist because, to be honest, it doesn't exist. It's not a survey. It's going out on the street and asking a couple of people on their opinion on like latest games. That's all it is.
I'm spinning in circles like a crooked thread. Dance with the chaos inside my head. I'm bouncing off walls, can't find my feet. Stumbling round in a world so sweet. The world's a carnival, a funny parade. I'm laughing through tears in a bright masquerade. Strange colors blur, but I'm still in the game. Juggling dreams, but none feel the same. Bouncing on clouds.